is just before 7:30, and I'm back in my room finally after a full day in the parks. Excuse my hair. I had on all day. Anyways, went to Hollywood Studios first, did Slinky Dog, Star Tours, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Millennium Falcon, Olga's, and that was it. Because I did Fantasmic and Rock and Roller Coaster the day before. So, yeah. Then I went over to Epcot, did Guardians, and Soarin'. Now, mind you, I did buy Genie Plus for the day, which I have done before, but I'm thinking this is my last time I'm ever buying that because it wasn't worth it today. I thought it would help a lot, and it really didn't. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't know, whatever. I have lots of thoughts and feelings on Genie Plus, especially considering the price has risen and it was $20 today. Anyways, besides the point. So like I said, I went over to Epcot, then walked over to Beach Club because, why not just walk everywhere after, when I have to run all the time. But I saw the carousel that is up there, which is always great. Then hopped on a bus to Disney Springs, went and sat down and ate dinner at Homecoming, bought a couple things in some shops, and now am back here. So I'm back much earlier than I was last night after Fantasmic, which is good. We'll see if I get to bed earlier. I hope so, because I am tired. Tomorrow, obviously 10K. Then kind of a change of things because I have to, after the 10K, get out of here quickly and bump over to the Swan and Dolphin, where I am staying at the Dolphin for the rest of the weekend. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I have some time for at least some post-race beers before I have to come back, get my stuff, and get out. So yeah, that is going to do it for tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow at the 10K.
Here we go, our first leg. 3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome back. Guess who forgot to do an update earlier today or at all today because, yeah. Anyways, I switched hotels. I am now in the Dolphin, not Swan. I'm in the Dolphin for the next 2 nights, tonight and tomorrow night. It'll be great for after the party, can just walk back here instead of having to deal with buses, which is great to me. So I had to, after the race today, or this morning, 10K, which talk about in a second. I had to, go back and pack and bring stuff over here. So that was, kind of my priority. So which prompted me to forget to do a video because then I couldn't check in here yet. The room wasn't ready, of course. But anyways, moving on. 10K. It was warm. And it's going to be warm tomorrow. And I'm very unsure about my costume. I may change things up. I may ditch it at AMI. I'm probably going to try to start in it. I don't know. We'll see. But kind of have a backup plan. 10K itself, though, was fine. Nothing too crazy. Character lines, I thought, were just kind of brutal. We waited, and probably what the longest character line was, of course, was Mickey. And I didn't even know what the outfit was. They kept going on and on about how this was some Southeast Asia or some type of theme. None of these themes at all this weekend have made any sense whatsoever. But whatever. And so you had. Now I'm trying to blank. I know Mickey, of course. Pluto. The first character I saw was Mulan, then the Fantasia Hippo, then Mickey. No, take that back. Pluto, then Mickey. Then Donald was just as you entered studios. There was nobody else in studios, because then you ran right out. And once you went the boardwalk, Goofy was at the boardwalk, over by Atlantic Dance Hall or whatever, yeah. Then going into Epcot, you had Chip and Dale, just like where Donald was for the 5K, but so they were by World Show Place in between the UK and Canada. They were there, and that was it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, race was hot. Whatever. Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon, which the race was, of course, themed around, was pre-race and post-race. This was the first time she's been meetable at Walt Disney World, so I guess if you're into that movie, that would have been a big thing for you. They also had Lilo, Baloo, and Minnie Mouse. I did stop for Baloo pre-race. Today I did not get much of, if any, race footage because, well, it's kind of hard when you run with people who aren't necessarily keen on being filmed or, being part of these videos. So, but I'd rather, just not film and then talk to you guys later. And I'll obviously input photos and whatever video I have after this. But tomorrow, I don't know, what is it? Almost 7 o'clock. Gotta get ready for bed. Time change. We do get an extra hour of sleep, but that also means the sun rises earlier. So it's like a double negative, which, well, not really a double negative, but it's a negative. So whatever. Yeah, I've never stayed at the Swan or Dolphin for a Run Disney race. I've stayed at the Dolphin before. That was a long time ago, probably 10 years ago. So we'll see how it goes for a race weekend. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
3, 2, 1, go!
Well, welcome back. I never filmed a post Wine and Dine half recap. So here we are, roughly almost 2 weeks later, but better late than never. So just wanted to, wrap up some things, talk about the Wine and Dine half. Of course, if you were there, you know it was quite hot. I did mention that I may not keep my costume or, at least not wear it the whole time or whatever. I did end up wearing it the whole time. However, it came off right after the race because it was drenched by the time we were done. At the start, we did have some, not really a heavy rain, but, some light rain. And it was kind of nice because it kind of helped cool things down. But it would have been better later on in the race than at the beginning, I think. We were in B corral. Actually, I should say I did have A corral, but with friends and stuff, I started back in B. I don't know if they did multiple waves in B or not, but if they did, we were in the first wave for B. A and B were fairly small corrals. C was pretty large, from what I could see. But character-wise, you had a lot of combos, like two characters at one stop kind of thing. Like Louis and Tiana were the first ones, Lady Tremaine, then Big Bad Wolf. We didn't stop for any of those first three. Don't typically always stop for those first couple, at least, because usually those lines are pretty long. The first one we did stop for was Captain Hook and Smee, which were just as you were coming backstage from Epcot, right, under Test Track. They were there. Then you didn't have a character until Beast in France, and that was the only character in Epcot, which was kind of surprising me, because usually they at least put a couple in those World Showcase areas, which they didn't. Outside of Beast was the only one. Just as you were leaving Epcot, kind of back by where the Skyliner, where you go past the Skyliner there, the Turk from Tarzan was there. No photo pass, though, just phones if you were stopped at that one. Then you didn't have a character until you got just into Hollywood Studios. So after that you ran through towards Boardwalk, then down that path to Hollywood Studios. So then your next character was Mike and Sully, just inside Hollywood Studios. Then as you went by towards Echo Lake and towards the Mickey Shorts Theater, the Country Bears were right outside there. And then I think one of I am a big Country Bears fan, so that was a great stop. But the next stop, which I have never seen out at a race, was the Cantina Band was outside Star Tours on the stage where they used to do Jedi training. So that was a must stop. Another one where they didn't have photo pass, but definitely stopped for that one. Then they were, you had no characters in Galaxy's Edge, but as you went into Toy Story Land, you had Woody and Bo Peep just inside Toy Story Land. And then nothing until you got back out and made the turn in front of the Chinese Theater, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Mickey and Minnie were there. We didn't stop for that one. That was the same. They were in the same outfits they were for the springtime surprise 10-miler in April. So they were there. Then you had nothing until out on the roadway after Studios. You had Pluto, then which we did stop for. We didn't stop for Ferb. Ferb was out from Phineas and Ferb. Then Goofy out on the roadway again. Clarabelle and Horse, we did not stop for them. Then in Epcot, just outside Mission Space past Guardians area, you had Genie, which there was no line, there was a little line, but not like I was expecting. It was late in the race, but Genie was out, so that was a must stop since he was the on the challenge medal. And then they kind of turned around Captain Hook and Smee from where they were, because you kind of came back out that way towards the end, and they were still there at the end, but since we already got them, we didn't stop for them. and finished. One thing I don't think I don't know if I noted or not. They had a choir at the finish for all 3 races, which in my now 9 years of running Disney, I've never seen a choir out for a 5K, and I don't even know if I've ever seen it out for a 10K. Usually it's only half and full, but they were out for all 3 races, which I thought was interesting. Outside of that, I thought the race was fine, a lot of fun per usual, right? But like I said, race overall was, a lot of fun as always. Hot, can't obviously control the weather, so that's what it is. The medals, I thought, that challenge medal was heavy. It's hard to, because I like that it opened, but it didn't like, I kind of almost wish it had an option to kind of like stay open, because when you're trying to take pictures or something, you kind of have to prop it, and I know it doesn't stay open on its own kind of thing. But overall, the Coco medal is my favorite of this weekend, but the Genie medal is probably number 2. Still not a fan of putting I Did It on the medals. Whatever, which they're all on the Marathon Weekend medals too. I don't think they're on the Princess medals though. So if they are, they're on the back. I didn't really look at the backs of any of those, but I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, I think that just a quick recap of the half. After the half, I went back, kind of rested up for a bit. Went down to the pool, hung out there, got some lunch or early dinner, whatever you want to call it, and then went into Magic Kingdom for a quick hour or so before I head over to the after party at Epcot. Met up with friends there, and we made our way around the world, which there's some clips of that that I've put in. But that's gonna do it, I think, for our Wine and Dine recap. I did, as on my Instagram, as I always do, I kind of go into the numbers of each race weekend, and this weekend was significantly more than they've kind of been doing, much more normal in terms of the number of finishers. At least I don't know what they don't release starting numbers, but in terms of finishers, it was much more in line with pre-COVID. Still a little bit lower, but much closer to those pre-COVID numbers, which is good, I guess. But I'm very interested to see where they go with Marathon Weekend. I don't think we're going to see the 20,000 plus runners we used to see for the half, but I do definitely think we're going to see 15,000 plus. But we won't know until that happens. So that is going to do it. Back into training. It's frigid here in Wisconsin, but keeping after it, and got 48.6 coming up in less than 50 days now, and then another 22.4 and another 19.3 to round out this season. So that's gonna do it for now, and we will check in with you next time.